this space right now. It is wonderful to welcome you all here to our 2025 Beaumont Athletic Hall of Fame and Distinguished Alumna Induction Ceremony. I'm Wendy Hoke, I'm president of Beaumont School, and to kick things off, I'd like to invite the chair of our board of directors, Dr. Dorothy Russo-Malthrop, class of 1991, and the CEO of Open Doors Academy, to say a few words. Dorothy.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good. What a beautiful day for a celebration, right? On a beautiful campus. I talked to so many of you. Some of you have been here many times. Some of you are coming back and it's been a long time since you've been here. Others, this is your first time. So we hope that you have a chance to look around and visit the campus and walk through the beautiful courtyard, see the new cafeteria. It's a beautiful space, and we're so glad that you are all here with us today. As Wendy said, I am the chair of the board, and on behalf of the entire board of directors, I wanted to welcome you to this Hall of Fame and Distinguished Alumna Luncheon. This is a really, really special day, and we are here to honor so many remarkable women and people in our community. Through your work and through your lives, you are a reflection of the Ursuline tradition, and you inspire us to go into our lives every day carrying the mission of Beaumont with faith and leadership and service. We are proud to acknowledge your accomplishments today, and we are very, very grateful for the example that you set to all of us. I wanted to just give one special shout out to Mr. Dunn, who is receiving an award tonight. Many of you know that he started the soccer program, was our first soccer coach here, and I had the honor of playing with him along with some of my classmates who are here. And I know that he's looking down on us right now. I know that he would be so proud of everybody in this room. And I can hear him right now telling me, "You're doing a great job, Lovey. Keep going." And I want to welcome everyone, everyone that's here supporting the recipients of these honorees, their families, the community, faculty, staff, and friends. We enter into this celebration with joy and love, and many of you were maybe here last night at the reunion, and there was so much joy and just a fun spirit, and I know that that is a testament to the power of our legacy that we share. So I'm really grateful to have a moment to say welcome to all of you, and I'll turn it over to Wendy, and congratulations to all of the well-deserved honorees today.
Thank you, Dorothy. Okay, today we honor extraordinary women and one man who embody Beaumont's highest ideals and Ursuline values. And by doing so, we also celebrate the legacy of Beaumont, which has been shaping lives for 175 years. So, as Dorothy mentioned, let me also add my sentiments. Thank you to all of you who are here supporting the honorees, families, friends, classmates, and members of our Beaumont community. We're so glad to have you here. As is our tradition, we begin this event with a prayer. So if you can all quiet yourselves for a moment. And we begin in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Loving God, thank you for bringing us together to honor these remarkable individuals. Bless our honorees, their families, and all gathered here with joy, gratitude, and inspiration. Following the example of St. Angela Merici and those we celebrate today, may we continue to live lives of faith, service, and excellence. We ask this in Jesus' name, through the intercession of St. Angela Merici. Amen. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Okay, before we move into the meat of our recognition program, I'd like to recognize some people who are joining us today. First of all, our work is inspired and modeled after the Ursuline Sisters of Cleveland, upon whose shoulders we stand. and whose bold vision for educating young women is as important today as it was when they began their ministry in 1850. We will be honoring 2 of them today, but we are joined by many Ursuline sisters. So would you please stand to be recognized? We celebrate with you 175 years of joyful service. I'd also like to acknowledge the members of our board of directors who are here today. So please stand as I introduce you. Sister Laura Brigard, Louise Clemens, class of 84, Sister Chris Davini, class of 68, Sister Joanne Gross, and Dorothy Malthrop, class of 91. And lastly, I would like to ask any of our past distinguished alumni or Hall of Fame inductees to stand and be recognized, but hold on. And while we're not giving the Beaumont Award out today, if you have received the Beaumont Award, I would also ask you to stand. So all of our previous honorees, if you would please stand to be recognized. Our Athletic Hall of Fame inductees. The Athletic Hall of Fame recipients embody the spirit of perseverance, discipline, and teamwork that defines athletics at Beaumont. Each individual has left a lasting mark on our community and beyond. This year's recipients are Coach Jim Dunn, Mary Brown Aylin from the class of 1983, Tamara Stokes from the class of 1984, and Annie Bova Frisbee. As we begin the presentation of awards to our Athletic Hall of Fame honorees, we extend to the Hall of Fame committee coordinating all these nominations our gratitude. So please, if you are on the Athletic Hall of Fame nominating committee, please stand to be recognized. Awesome. Okay, the best coaches teach us not only a skill or sport, but more importantly about character, persistence, and discipline. Their lessons and wisdom last a lifetime, and this year's coach honoree is no exception. It is my privilege to welcome Margaret Strawn, class of 1993, to present the award to the late Coach Jim Dunn.
Before I begin, can I, as Wendy said, it's a team sport, so anybody Mr. Dunn coach, if you would please join me, that would be great. Former player, I know you guys are out there. I'm playing with you. Yeah, Emily, you were the statistician, baby. What a beautiful day to honor a man with a beautiful heart. As Wendy said, my name is Margaret Strawn, and I was Mr. Dunn's goalkeeper for the first 4 seasons of Beaumont's soccer program. It truly was an honor to play for Mr. Dunn. Of the many lessons I learned playing for Mr. Dunn, the most lasting lessons are the lessons about love he imprinted on my heart. Mr. Dunn, in his very Irish way, taught me that love can be used as a proper noun. So he would say encouraging things like, drop the ball back, love. Kick it, love. Run after it, love. Mr. Dunn honed my love for soccer, from different sets and formations to be used in particular game situations, to defensive techniques employed on corner kicks, to how much fun film study can be after an afternoon of conditioning and practice. But most of all, Mr. Dunn showed me that love is an action, and that action of love for Mr. Dunn equated to giving time. Giving his time before practice, giving his time after practice, his time on the phone answering questions from parents, or counseling a player with a topic not related to soccer. Hosting the team in his home with Mrs. Dunn for breakfast to encourage team unity and camaraderie at the beginning of the season. Driving the team van to and from games all over Northeast Ohio, and I am quite certain he had stories galore to share with Mrs. Dunn about the conversations he overheard on those van rides. Mr. Dunn was an honorable man with an honorable heart who shared his heart with the many people whose paths he crossed in his lifetime. His love for soccer was obvious to those of us who were lucky enough to be coached by him. His love for life and sharing that love was obvious to anyone who paid attention to who Jim Dunn was. I now would like to invite his family to come forward and please accept his award.
Our next Hall of Fame inductee is Mary Brown Adelman. To introduce Mary, please welcome her husband, Doug Adelman.
It is my pleasure to introduce our next inductee. Your program notes that she earned an astonishing 15 varsity letters at Beaumont. Really? How, may I ask, does one do that? I'm thinking perhaps a reasonable solution would be 3 varsity letters a year for 5 years? But no, this National Honor Society student did it in 4, of course. So that's 4 varsity letters in 3 years. And then only 3 varsity letters for 1 year. That's how she did it. Mary had over 1,000 career basketball points in high school and then again in college at Cornell. I might add that the 3-point shot was added her senior year at Cornell. So most of those are not counting as 3s. She played a season with the Irish Basketball Association, making lifelong friends on her team. And her professional basketball career would likely have continued had she not got mixed up with me. Mary said yes to starting a new kind of team. We we ministered the sacrament of holy matrimony to each other just 2 miles down the road at the Church of the Jesu 35 years ago. So I want to give thanks to our Creator and Lord. Thanks to Mary's nuclear family, many of whom are here today. And thanks to Beaumont, who have all instilled and nurtured her strong faith and tenacity that made this possible. And our team of 4 young adults are here to honor Mary, which reminds me of Proverbs 31, which says, "Her children rise up and praise her. Her husband, too, extols her." Mary Margaret Claire Brown Edelman, please come on up here to receive your award, and thank you for being my lifelong dream teammate.
Wow. Thank you, honey. So sweet. Where to begin? Thank you, Wendy, Dorothy, for your kind introduction, and Kathleen, wherever you are, for organizing this very special event. Thank you to all those on the Beaumont Selection Committee. Truly, this is a great honor, especially to be inducted with these other awesome women and the one male coach. In addition, and thank you to all my family and friends for being here today and celebrating with me. In addition to my dear husband, our 4 wonderful children, Ryan and his girlfriend Stina, John Michael, Colleen and Thomas. I am one of 11 kids myself, and 6 of my siblings are here. Pat and Amy, Jean and Carlos, Joe and his adorable twins, Ben and Dale, all from Northern Virginia. There's Mike and my nephew Mick from Queens, New York. There's Maureen and Dorothy and my nephew Brendan. Thank you. Special friends I'd like to acknowledge. Number 1 is Miss Beautiful Jeannie Simon Gordon from New Jersey. It was Jeannie's beloved mom, Judy, who enlisted all 5 of us girls at one point or another for regular babysitting. And that was how and why I could stay at Beaumont, because all that earned income went straight back here. I remember pitching in $600 for a $1,200 tuition bill freshman year, I think. Yeah. Next is John Urasic. We bonded with John over beach volleyball. John founded the Maple Heights St. Martin of Tours Beach Volleyball Club. Back in the 90s, very fun. Ann Barrett is in the house. Ann is my one and only West Side friend, or foe, as she attended our West Side rival, Magnificat High School. And lastly is Vamer, Aaron Sibia. Vamer is the former esteemed director of the National Symphony Orchestra of Bolivia, South America's home country. So welcome, Vamer. Finally, I gotta give a big Blue Streak cheer to all my teammates that are here! Can't resist. This is an original Cleveland Brown dog pound cowbell from the 70s. And as you can imagine, our family totally embraces the Cleveland Brown name. And back at Beaumont in the 80s, we all identified with the cardiac kids at that time. But don't worry, I will not continue with more cowbell in the Saturday Night Live fashion. You can watch that skit later for a good laugh. All right. Starting with the class of 82. At power forward, number 25, Michelle Zeke, the Street At center, standing 7 feet tall, number 24, Mary Ellen Quilt, the Stilt Michelle from New Surprise! Mary Ellen made me this poster our senior year. I still have it, great sentimental value. Mary Ellen was co-captain with me. At guard, number 12, Janet Planet. She's a Galaxy girl, Climbing Golfers! On to running is Kristen with her Once Upon a Time long ponytail that she would whip it good. Nigro Grant, cross-country team captain and also our senior class president. And the best swimmer at Beaumont was Karen the Shark Coviello Weaver. Karen was swim team captain and also participated in cross-country. And lastly, I recognize my own dear sister who we call Dorby. Dorby was also a runner. In her junior year, we got to be basketball teammates. And surprise, I have other teammates that just showed up spur of the moment. Louise and Joan and Kathy, thank you. Now I gotta do a quick wardrobe addition. So it's to give a little shout out to Sister Charlotte, whose sewing class I took. And the final project was to make a business suit. Lo and behold, the jacket still fits, the skirt not at all. But this is really to showcase my mom's skill set. She was a master craftswoman, and she ended up making most of the suit for me, much to her chagrin. So I want to dedicate this award to both my parents, Betty and Mike, and to my late brother, Timmy. Mom and Dad provided a Catholic education for all 11 of us and only one income. Pretty incredible. And Timmy was the OG, the original DT, downtown Timmy Brown, racking up the points over at Benedictine High School. My kids will remember the old backyard video game series. Well, I think those game designers created backyard basketball after Timmy because that's what he was always doing. And it was from his example that I learned the value of consistent effort and constant practice. Lastly, I close with this quote from our foundress, St. Angela Merici. Do something, get moving, be confident, risk new things, stick with it, get down on your knees, then be ready for big surprises.
Thank you and congratulations again, Mary. Our next honoree is Tamara Stokes from the class of 1984. And to introduce her, please welcome her teammate and friend, Reaver Nelson, also.
Wow, that is a hard act to follow. I'm going to do my best. Before I begin, I want to give a shout out to all of my classmates from the class of 1984. I would like to thank Kathleen Egan for the invitation to be here today. Kathleen, you rock. It is my privilege to introduce my lifelong friend and teammate, Ms. Tamara Stokes, for induction to the Beaumont Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2025. When Kathleen told me I had 5 minutes, I said, how am I going to wrap almost 50 years of friendship into 5 minutes? So I'm going to do my best, but trust me when I tell you, it will not do it justice. Tamara and I met as 10, maybe 11-year-old girls playing softball for the Golden Knights of St. Henry's Elementary in the Lee Harbor, Cleveland area. Tamara was an exceptional softball player, but upon her arrival at Beaumont in our sophomore year, she focused on track and field, and the impact she would have on the program was evident from the beginning. Tamara graduated in 1984 as the school record holder in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and as a member of the 4x100 meter relay team. After graduation, Tamara attended Spelman before transferring to Springfield College in Massachusetts, where she still holds the school record in the 200 meters. Tamara was nominated for this distinction because of her leadership and contributions that were foundational in establishing the standard of excellence that is now synonymous with Beaumont track and field. I have my favorite moments from our time as teammates, but watching Tamara anchor our 4x100 meter relay truly stands out. By 1984, Tamara was well known by our competition. It was my fortune to be the leadoff leg for our relay, and after passing the baton to our second leg, I would stand in the infield and watch the race unfold. I knew that if we had the lead when Tamara received the baton, the probability of winning the race was in our favor. I would be remiss if I didn't take just a moment to acknowledge our relay teammates, Ms. Kathy DeFranco and Martha Meeker, for the class of 1987, who were 2 of the outstanding freshmen on our team that year. It has been more than 40 years since Tamara last represented Beaumont at the Austintown Finch Regionals, where we placed first as a team, and Tamara qualified in 3 events for the state championships in Columbus. Tamara made the finals in all 3 events and led Beaumont to a 9th place finish out of a highly competitive field of 46 teams. Some athletes win races, while others leave a legacy. Track and field athletes are often associated with qualities such as speed, strength, and determination. Tamara embodied each of these attributes that were elevated by an exceptional work ethic that has been made visible in her accomplishments since graduation as a student athlete in college, an educator, a published author, a daughter, a sister, a friend. Tamara, thank you for your friendship and a lifetime of memories that I carry with me always. Will you please join me in welcoming Tamara Stokes?
Thank you. Gosh, look, I didn't know I did all that stuff, right? So I have a little token. Some of you may recognize this. I thought I was like the bomb diggity when I purchased this pink Nike bag that is still like workable. I had this when I was a track person, and I use it to this day when I go swimming, because it's, that nylon stuff. That is my choice of sport now, swimming. But inside I couldn't figure out why I had a piece of chalk. And I was like, why do I have chalk in the pocket? Well, you use chalk when you are pacing out your event or relay races. And so, unfortunately, my mom passed away in January this year, but as I was cleaning out the house, I found some remnants. This is the time that we won the state 4x1 relay race with, and it is signed by my teammates and my coach. I also went on to, as Haree said, to run in the prestigious Penn Relays. I ran at Boston University, and I have one, this is what I found, Dartmouth Relays. So when I ran in college up at Springfield College, I found these and I thought, and on the back of them, I would always write my times and the date, because I was setting records every single time I was running. So I want to just thank everyone who believed in me, my coaches, those who encouraged me, my teammates who supported me and rallied and yelled and screamed my name from the infield. I heard you. I never imagined anything like this would happen to me. And when Kathleen called me, I said, shut up. So I just never imagined. I was just doing what my passion was, which was running. And so I am so thankful for receiving this up. Thank you.
Okay, I just got to make sure I get those plaques back, because those actually stay here and go up on our Hall of Fame. Congratulations again, Tamara, and thank you, Reaper. That was wonderful. Okay, our final Athletic Hall of Fame inductee this afternoon, whatever day it is Annie Bova Frizzy from the class of 2012. And to introduce Annie, please welcome former head basketball coach and husband to one Beaumont alum, Kimberly Russell, Derek Russell.
Well, thank you so much. This is a homecoming for me. As Wendy mentioned, my lovely wife is a class of '84 alum as well. My daughter Ray also went here, 2019 graduate. I'd like to recognize Sister Gretchen for giving me the job to try to turn our program around. Wendy, Tim Myrtle, Kathleen, thank you so much for this honor to represent one of my good friends, Annie Bova. I don't have props. But I do have some jokes about Annie's father. Frank Bova and the Bova family had embraced me as one of their own. Frank and I would get confused, or people would get confused when I would come into the gym and thinking I thought you were already here because we look so much alike. For those who don't remember the film Twins, that was it. And for the younger people, Twins was with the former governor of California, and the guy that does the subway court, Jimmy John commercials now, but I digress. But my honor is to be a part of their family because minute one, they embraced me. Annie's name was given to me as my first year of coaching. It was my first head job. And they said, hey, we got this young person who just came on to be an English teacher here, but she's a former alum and she might like to help out. I was like, okay. And then I find out it's Annie Bova, all-time leading scorer, all this, all that. I'm like, our little thing was, we'll say heck yeah, but every time she and I vibe on something, it's like heck yeah. But I was like, no doubt, we hit it off immediately. Her energy, her passion, her workout ethic, it shamed me and the other coaches. We said, we gotta work out. We can't have her showing us up, right? And she took that effort and instilled it into what we wanted to do with the program. Annie had an incredible career. You guys can read about her career, both here and at Mount Union. And we needed that vibrancy to reinstate what we thought Beaumont athletics and what Beaumont basketball could be. We knew we had to make a character change in our program, and what better person to represent that on a daily basis than Annie Bova. Annie not only broke records here at Beaumont, but she went on to Mount Union University where she was one of the leading scorers in their school's history in performance in all aspects of the game. She brought all of those traits and her leadership back to Beaumont where she started, where she got her start and got some of those things that the Ursuline sisters represent, and also service. After Annie came back here to teach for, I believe, 3 years in English, she gave back to the students here, and the students absolutely loved her. My daughter didn't play basketball, and she would come back, oh, Bova. I'm like, hello? I'm pretty cool too, right? But nothing matched Coach Bova. So anytime we had something, we played good cop, bad cop. And anytime it was bad cop, it was usually a workout. Let Bova run the workout for the girls. Oh my God. I was a good cop, man. They loved me after that because Bova would work their tails off, but it paid off. We ended up going from a 1-win team in the 2 years we were there to a 19-win team and won the sectionals and won a very tough conference of the North Coast League Conference, which the staff got the coaching staff of the year, and it was all thanks to Annie Bova. I could sit here and talk, but I want to introduce the 2025 inductee to the Athletic Hall of Fame, Annie Bova.
Bring this back down here. I don't have props either, so bear with me. All right. I'd like to firstly thank all those who brought life to the Hall of Fame. Not only does it preserve the accomplishments of past Beaumont women, but also gives current and future Beaumont women something to fight for in their athletic career. And in return, that drive will bleed into their individual aspirations outside of the sports realm. Well, I had quite the unorthodox basketball career here at Beaumont. I had 4 coaches and 4 years. But each coach was able to give me something that molded me into a young woman you see here today. I'm happy I got one of 2 of the most impactful coaches here today in my basketball career. Coach Hansen, She built a strong foundation of drive and respect for the game, also teaching me that basketball isn't the only thing I went to school for, believe it or not. I used to always forget that. I learned that quickly after I got detention from probably one of the most patient, kind teachers there are at Beaumont, Miss Sally. Yeah. It wasn't for anything disrespectful, it was just very high-spirited. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Coach Hansen sat me down and she said, "How on earth do you get detention from the most patient and kind teacher in this school?" She said, "I have no choice but to sit you the first half of the game, next game." Down by 15 in the first quarter, I think she knew I paid my penance because I found myself back on the floor in the second quarter. Anyways, Coach Hansen built my foundation as a player strong enough where I could scaffold off the core principles she based her program off of. And I thank you, Coach, for redefining my love for the game and giving me respect for it. Coach Arth, he's not here today. He's where I learned the line of respect for coach versus player. One time in my career, I talked back to a coach, and that was the last time I've ever talked back to a coach. He made it clear that that behavior will never, ever be tolerated. Against one of our biggest rivals, Coach Arth benched me the last half, making it clear that no one is ever bigger than the game. And it's not all about winning. Coach Arth was also the one that opened me up to the realm of possibility that where this game could take me. Therefore, I wanted to thank Coach Arth for giving me humility and then another gear to that drive to get me to the next level. Now, pivoting to softball. Coach Irusi, he's here today. I wanted to thank you for creating an environment between the lines that was competitive, fun, safe, and made each player want to play for each other. It's a very rare mix, but our 2011-2012 team was proof of its existence. So thank you, Coach. Sister Erin, thank you for bringing the game to a level of righteousness. You proved that grit and spirituality can go hand in hand, and one does not have to outweigh the other. So thank you, sister. You came all the way from Washington, D.C. for this today, so another a round of applause for Sister Erin. I also wanted to say rest easy and thank you to Coach Russo, Coach Perella, who guided me immensely in both my basketball and softball career. They participated as a coach in both, so thank you. Now, pivoting to my coaching career, I wanted to thank Coach Russell for his strong mentorship and teaching me the importance of leading a team through example when playing is no longer an option. He also taught me how leading is done outside the gym. I still go to him for advice, and I'm thankful he's always a phone call away. Thank you, Coach. I wanted to thank my parents and their never-ending support, and for driving long hours to take me to and from practices, games, and extra workouts, and keeping me humble and motivated through all of my life endeavors. Thank you, parents. Thank you to all my siblings for teaching me at a young age that the meaning of toughness and that you don't always get what you want. And you need to work for it. Thank you to my husband, Bill, for standing by my side in this game of life and being the foundation I lean on when cracks appear in mine. And thank you to my daughter, Carmela, for teaching me to slow down and to take in all small moments because life goes by too fast. I love you both. Thanks again, Beaumont, and go Blue Streaks.
Congratulations again, Annie. Okay, I just want to say, Annie Bova, Miss Sal, really? And also, I often remind our Dean of Students, when she's having a particularly challenging day, that most of the alums that I meet in my lifetime here have spent a tinge of time in the Dean of Students office. And they're off doing wonderful, amazing, incredible things. So when she's having a bad day, I just remind her of that. Please, let's have one last final round of applause for our athletic hall of fame. Congratulations, everyone. Okay, to be distinguished is to live one's gifts fully, in faith, in leadership, and in service to others, just as St. Angelo Merici called us to do. It isn't about titles or recognition. It's about the lasting impact you leave on people and the example you set for those who follow. Our 4 distinguished alumna honorees today have distinguished themselves through their work, their service, and their example. I learned about our first honoree, Ellen Proctor, while visiting one of her classmates in Florida about 6 years ago. Over lunch, we were discussing the extraordinary impact of Beaumont women, a common topic when I'm meeting with alums, and she asked, "Do you know about Ellen Proctor?" I replied that I did not, but she went on to tell me about her extraordinary scientific mind. I went on to dig deep and learn a little bit more about Ellen Proctor myself. Ellen was from the class of 1960. She's a magna cum laude graduate of Marquette University with a double major in math and physics, earning her degree in just 3 years. At 34, she received a patent for something many of us in this room have experienced directly: an independent compression and positioning device used in mammography. Yes. Long before women's many contributions to STEM were widely recognized, Ellen Proctor was working on how to improve our lives. As a breast cancer survivor of 10 years, I remind our graduates every year in my commencement remarks that the work of a Beaumont alum literally saved my life. To say that Ellen's contributions paved the way for generations of women in science is hardly sufficient to capture her impact. Her life is an example of persistence, bold curiosity, and the conviction to persevere in a male-dominated field. And if you check out her yearbooks, you can see that she also had a very playful sense of fun. I would have loved to have talked to her about her life, but sadly she passed away in 2013 at the young age of 71. But we are so proud to recognize Ellen Proctor as a Beaumont Distinguished Alumna, and I invite her nephew, Ed Proctor, to accept this award on her behalf.
Thank you so much, and want to honor, first on behalf of the Proctor family, we want to congratulate all award winners today. And I want to thank Kathleen Egan for having me come and speak on behalf of my aunt. And I think this room especially would agree that behind every great woman, well, there's another great woman. And in fact, it was true with regard to Ellen. Her mother, Catherine Conway Proctor, graduated from law school and was admitted to the bar in 1931. And she had 3 daughters, all of which graced these hallowed halls. The first of which was, the youngest of which was Catherine, and in the early 1970s, and they all have an education-related bent, of course. Early in the 1970s, she was an architect major and graduate from Kent State University and had the unfortunate incident of being there during the shootings. Her other sister, Mary, was in 1971 the first woman ever admitted to the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana, where she obtained an engineering degree. But none were as accomplished as Ellen. And I think as the program set forth, she's had a very high GPA from here, and just 10 short years after she graced these hallowed halls, she graced the cover of Mademoiselle magazine as its Woman of the Year for her work in X-ray diffraction. Don't ask me what that means. And 6 short years later, she was granted a patent for mammography. And the most impressive thing about my Aunt Ellen, despite all her incredible accomplishments, was the way she lived her life. And although she chose the single life, she had a dedication to the values and the principles that my grandmother and this school instilled upon her. And she lived an Ursuline lifestyle and dedicated herself humbly to the progression of not only science, but women in the workplace. So, thank you again. Kathleen told me I only had 3 minutes.
Thank you, Ed. Okay, our next 2 recipients have a particular place in my heart as women who have served in the role of president of Beaumont School. They know intimately demands of balancing enrollment, and raising money, and making sure the institution is strong not just for today, but for years to come. And their service to their alma mater is exceptional and lasting. In Sister Rita Mary Welsh's first President's Address in 1997, she noted that across the decades, the young women of Beaumont continued to exhibit the qualities that make it Ursuline. That service and stewardship are not mere words, but faith put into action. Her 10 years of leadership and service to her alma mater were filled with action. Among her most impactful endeavors were the 150th anniversary celebration in 2000 and the opening of the Spiritual Life Center, right here, and St. Angela Merici Chapel in 2004. While speaking last night with former board chair Maria Coyne from the class of 1978, also the first woman board chair of Beaumont, I might add, she said that she appreciated their wonderful, mutually supportive relationship in which they shared a very clear understanding of what was the role of the board and the role of the professional staff. And together, these 2 women served at a pivotal time in Beaumont's history. But not only did Rita Mary lead Beaumont, but she went on to serve 6 years on the Beaumont Board of Directors and as congregational leader of the Ursuline Sisters, shortly after they moved into their new home, Merici Crossings. She is the living embodiment of what it means to be Angela. Across the decades, Sister Rita Mary shared bonds with her blood sisters, who are here today, her Beaumont sisters, and her Ursuline sisters, always staying ever loyal to her alma mater. With gratitude for your leadership and service as you advance the mission of Beaumont School, it is with great pleasure that we bestow Sister Rita Mary Welsh, class of 1963, with the Distinguished Alumna Award.
I am excited to see so many Beaumont alums, faculty and staff, family members and friends on this very special occasion. I am both honored and humbled to be a distinguished alumna of Beaumont School. Beaumont School has always felt like a second home to me, and my ministry is much entwined with my life as an Ursuline sister. I had the Ursulines both at St. Anne's and Beaumont, and entered the convent in 1963. Yes, I'm that old. The sisters had a great influence on my life. I saw them as happy, welcoming, prayerful, and truly caring women. I remember fondly Sisters Marie Michelle and Alice Clare. When I entered, it was not so much a surprise for my parents, but it certainly was for my friends. They were sure I would only last 6 months. But here I am, 60 years later. All the Ursuline sisters I knew were teachers. I wanted to be an Ursuline, but did I want to be a teacher? I would soon find out. I went on to receive both a bachelor's and master's degree in education. I was well prepared for college, thanks to Beaumont. I loved teaching, and I was even pretty good at it. I taught in several elementary schools in both the suburbs and the city, and I have fond memories of those students. I tried to be like the sisters who taught me, kind, interested in the students, and caring for each student individually. Caring for the individual is an integral part of the Ursuline mission. That was so clear to me at Beaumont that it became a part of who I am. I was encouraged by our Ursuline leadership team to pursue a degree in administration, which I did, even though I was reluctant to leave the classroom. That decision led me along many different ministry paths. I served as a principal in 2 elementary schools. I went on to be the assistant superintendent for the Diocese of Cleveland and was elected to the leadership team. My classroom days were behind me. And then life got really interesting. In 1997, Beaumont was looking for a new president, as Sister Margaret Ann Kelly was leaving administration. I was asked to be a part of the search committee. At the very first meeting, the committee insisted that an Ursuline sister had to be the next president. At the time, there were very few sisters even interested in the position. But the leadership team encouraged me to apply, which I did. And I spent 10 delightful years as president from 1997 to 2007. This was a new position for me. At times, it was a roller coaster ride. But as it's been said, we get by with a little help from our friends. I would like to recognize 2 of those very special friends, one of whom is here with us today, and the other I found out this morning has COVID. So I'm glad she didn't come. The first is Peggy Connor, who's sitting right over here, many of you know. Peggy became principal during my tenure as president, and she would often say to me, "I never want your job." And I would say, "Peggy, I just have to tell people how wonderful Beaumont is. You have to make it wonderful." We would laugh, and we were a great sounding board to one another. The second person is Diane Ruppelt, who came to Beaumont at the same time that I did, with her expertise in development. Diane taught me everything I know about advancement and saw us through a very successful $7 million capital campaign that built the St. Angela Ricci Chapel, the theater, and renovated the athletic area. I am so grateful for these two amazing women. My Beaumont journey does not end there. When I became the president of the Ursuline Sisters in 2020, I was automatically a part of the Beaumont board. Through these past years, I have returned to Beaumont for reunions, alumni lunches, masses and prayer service, sip and shops, the senior arts show, the sensational 60 luncheons, capital campaigns, groundbreakings, ribbon cuttings, donor events, and so much more. The Ursulines and Beaumont are a part of who I am and always will be. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations again, Sister Rita Mary. Okay, my first time meeting Sister Gretchen Rodenfels from the class of 1965 was Good Friday, 2017. The school was empty, and I was interviewing her to be her replacement. And she and Mary Jo Tamarick were giving me a tour of the school. Her love and knowledge of all things Beaumont and Ursuline was evident straight away. I thought to myself, I'll never be able to remember half of what she knew about the school, because it lives in her. I'm sure she didn't realize, graduation in 1965, that she would one day return to be Beaumont's president. But she led with courage and conviction, and that most Ursuline quality of dynamic adaptability, an ability to adapt according to the times. During her tenure, she built, literally and figuratively, foundations that would ensure Beaumont's relevance and success into the future. Namely, she and the board of directors at the time had the vision to make two important decisions, the success of which they would not see in their time, but which would prove to be game-changing over the ensuing years. Recognizing the growing need for women in STEM, Sister Gretchen led a $9.8 million Advancing Excellence campaign, which built our STEM edition, now known as the Sister Gretchen Rodenfels STEM Wing. This extraordinary accomplishment alone has allowed Beaumont to bolster its preparation for young women in the sciences. The second big accomplishment is leading the decision to pursue the International Baccalaureate World School designation. This intense project of bringing in the fastest growing curriculum in the world represents courage and bold faith, and yet, as she saw, was also uniquely aligned to our Ursuline educational values. Those changes take many years to take root, but they have. And we saw that this past year with the class of 2025, which included 4 National Merit finalists. And students who have gone on to pursue computer science, data science and public health, biology, and pastoral care. So for her leadership, combined with vision and practicality, and her devotion to her alma mater, this beautiful place we call Beaumont, we are proud to welcome Sister Gretchen Rodenfels as a distinguished alumna.
Thank you so much. I certainly want to thank Beaumont for this award. I'm truly, truly grateful. I so enjoyed my years here, first as a student, then 3 as assistant principal along with Annie Bova, and 10 years as president. I have many, many happy memories. Many include the table over there, my classmates from 1965. I also enjoyed the unwavering support from my staff during my 10 years as president. You know who you are. Therefore, it goes without saying that this award is really a group recognition. So I thank you both. And I thank you for all attending here today. You see, these are my remarks. But you don't know what's in my heart. So thank you.
Congratulations again to Sister Gretchen. Okay, our final distinguished alumna inductee today is Loretta Randall O'Brien Parham from the class of 1970. One of Beaumont's first African American alumnae, Loretta earned her undergraduate at Southern Illinois University and a Master of Library Science from the University of Michigan. She spent 19 years as CEO and director of the Robert W. Woodruff Library of the Atlanta University Center, retiring just last year. And she has dedicated her life to increasing access to information and knowledge for others. According to her nomination from classmate Sheila House, her professional work and passion for access to information services and archives was not just about herself. It was about a vision and mission to deliver quality library and archival services. And to that end, she raised more than $26 million for capital and program renovations to the Atlanta University Center. Loretta earned the Association of College and Research Libraries Academic Library of the Year for her work. Loretta's ability to see an opportunity and support of historically Black colleges and universities is an example for our students today. For a life and career modeling the values of a Beaumont graduate, dedication, perseverance, collaboration, positive attitude, leadership, and integrity. It is my honor to recognize Loretta Randall O'Brien Parham.
Thank you all so very much. Sounds pretty important, doesn't it? So I want to thank my family for being here first. Family first. My youngest son, my youngest grandchild, and mother, and my best friend Sheila and Denise, and my cousin Phyllis, and my dear Aunt Phyllis. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to thank the best class of all, 1970. Quite an active class. You see, we didn't have any athletics to do. So we had to do something with that energy. I call us the renegade class. Anyway, you know
notice there's no notebook in there for 1970. Maybe that's the librarian in me that saw that. And then also I want to recognize the sisters. I feel honored to be recognized. My family joke about this was, so they have two sisters. They couldn't find another holy person, so they got you. That's an in-house joke, okay? So the reunion held here 20 or so years ago, Sheila and I were thanked by a younger group of African-American alum for being role models, pioneers. I remember Sheila and I looking at each other like, what are they talking about? But we had come from the first class diversifying Beaumont High School. The class of 1970 presented the first black graduates, 5 of us. There were 6 students, but 5 of us who completed our education here. Renee Walton, Bobby Goodwin, Michelle Collins, Sheila House, and me. And 3 of us. And 3 of us came from St. Cecilia's. My takeaway from my years as a Beaumonster: roll skirts, tasty lunches, religious studies, Latin, and sewing class. To this day, I'm the only one in the family that can sew a button on. And of course, during that time, our sisters were still wearing beautiful black and white habits. We had another recollection is the best education, and for me, an introduction to communities and people different from me. Beautiful girls you'll find there. I see that's been edited out of the class. Alma mater, yes, I see it. But we still are. But we found people that are different from me. So I met girls who identified as Italian, Polish, Irish, Lebanese, German, and more for the first time. And again, to the credit of this diversity, those girls saw me and my community of African American sisters. And I think the class of 1970 found out that though different, we were in many ways very much the same. Those were the very present years of the Civil Rights Movement. Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated in 1968. Woodstock in 1969. I would never exchange my 4 years at Beaumont for any other. It is with pride that I say I am a Beaumonster, because the staff and faculty of Beaumont prepared me for this world. As a freshman at Wittenberg University, I remember I didn't study at all the first year. I had been so prepared by Beaumont years here that everything they were presenting to me down there I'd already done. In my senior year, some of you will remember, I played the Tin Man in the school play The Wizard of Oz, who only wanted a heart. Loretta has a heart that has allowed me to feel and to see the world with a kinder and more tender perspective. For that, I thank Beaumont and my mother, Amanda Randall Rudd, who put Beaumont in my view. Just as valuable for me has been my work with HBCU libraries and archives. Preserving African American history has always been important, and now it is essential. We must save all of our history. We must protect all of our history. And we must teach all of the history. I remember Sister Thekla, who rather than teach me a prayer that I didn't know or couldn't recite, called me out because I was different, and I did not know a particular prayer, and I was penalized for it. She sent me to the office. Sister Marie Michelle rescued me. Differences must be learned, appreciated, and respected. I thank Beaumont for respecting my difference, and I thank Beaumont and the alum for recognizing me this day. Thank you so much.
that is the end of our formal program. Before you dart out of here, I just want to acknowledge one more time all of our new inductees in the Athletic Hall of Fame and our distinguished alums. So a bit of housekeeping. We will be closing with our alma mater, which is printed on the back of your programs if you would like to join us. And just as we're in the middle of our reunion weekend, we have Mass tomorrow at 11 a.m. at St. Dominic Church in Shaker Heights if you would like to join us. If you would like to walk through the school after this ceremony, we'll be around for a little bit and you can feel free to do so. I want to give a huge thank you to our advancement team. Patty Claire, Kathleen Egan, Melissa Stevenson, and Amy Northrup. For turning over what is essentially a wedding reception for 400, immediately followed by a reception for 120 hours later. So thank you to that amazing team. And also this was coming on the heels 1 week after our single largest day of giving. So thank you to those ladies. On behalf of all of us here at Beaumont, we have enjoyed having you. Thank you so much for all of your support and your belief in what we do here. It is so important. And I would like us to close out then with our alma mater. So if anyone would like to join in singing, please do.